how about your reactions when you saw that rally mounting in the ninth inning? Because the White Sox score all of their runs in that ninth inning. I was kind of obviously excited, but a little bit of shock. It was kind of like a jaw dropper, That's where I was at.
I guess the first thing that we got to talk about is the fact that Cairo's boys just don't quit. So, I mean, we got to put that out there for one. Secondly, this whole thing got started by a certain Eloy Jimenez. It's almost like somebody might have spoke that into existence earlier today. I don't know. But all things considered, you have kind of that lackluster performance through 7 innings there. And then that ninth inning, you just kind of chip away at it. And, I may have woken some people up, with a little bit of excitement here tonight. Just that ninth inning rally, the way it all came about. We haven't really had another win like that this year. I'm trying to think of like another dramatic come from behind win of this effect, and I'm really struggling to come up with it right now. I mean,
I don't think you ever won that steep, Steve. I think that's what you're getting at there.
Yeah.
Like the kind of steep comeback, especially, and obviously the score, it was 3 runs there that they had to, get back to even tie. Obviously they put a 5 spot up, but I think that in terms of the, we've been on roller coasters all year, and this is another one. We went real low, getting no hit through 5. No hit into the 7th. That's when we finally got first hit via Eloy. But then the upswing and the guys that did it, and the fashion in which they did it, which we'll get into the details of. But Tony, were you like lighting fireworks off on your street there? And I know you're notorious for that in big celebration moment.
No fireworks, Johnny, tonight. I was actually inside. It was a late night yesterday, so it was a little bit of a late night for me to start this off. Wanted to, ramp up the right way tonight, Johnny. So no fireworks, was not in the garage. Watched the game on the family room level today, and that's where I've been for the past couple of games. So we're not changing anything up right now. We've got to stay consistent. We got to stay consistent. We got the sunglasses back on, 83 hat. We're staying consistent through this thing. The whole game, I was just sitting there thinking, this is so White Sox to go out and use up all their runs the night before. There were some people out there online that said they used up all their runs the night before. It's okay. We're not going to judge you for that. It's all right. That's how it felt all game up until.
Is that a subtweet?
No, it's not a subtweet. I'm just talking about the people who may or may not have said that.
Well, we talked about the possibility of that even last night.
Could have happened. Yeah. We did. So there's the fact that whole game was pretty much storyboard material for what you have watched this entire season. It would have been very realistic for us to be on this show, probably only 2 of us, because we wouldn't want to come on here talking about the White Sox potentially getting no hit by a bullpen day from the Oakland A's and being very frustrated right now. The fact that they were able to come back shows a lot of fight from this team. It shows that it's a team that's not dead at all, especially with what they've been doing over the past couple of weeks here. They've maintained their position all throughout the year as basically a 500 baseball club, and they've gotten hot at the right time. And they got hot at the right time today. And it was just so beautiful to watch. This is the type of baseball cinematic shit, Johnny, that I talk about all the time. Right. It's never fucking over until it's over. And the White Sox were able to pull one out today when they didn't deserve it, when they shouldn't have won it, and they came back and they did it. I go back, Johnny, and the 2014 Western Conference Final game. Remember how devastating that felt?
Yeah.
It's the same kind of fucking, kick in the nuts that the White Sox just gave the Oakland A's tonight, in that same sense of didn't deserve it, shouldn't have happened, got lucky when you needed to, and came through. Steve, I got to give you a lot of credit on the Eloy article today, talking about him powering this team. That home run, while it felt like it might have just been too little too late, comes up huge. And as you say all the time, ball go far, team go far. Continue to inspire these White Sox players, man. You're on a hot streak.
I was going to say, I feel like I might be on a little bit of a heater between, the Eloy column today, Elvis Andrus earlier on in the week, Lance Lynn with his increased curveball usage. Sometimes you just got to let it ride. I don't know. Who knows what's going to be in store next?
I can't wait to see what's in store next because I can't wait to see what you unlock next with this team, Steve. It just seems to, it might be fucking coincidence. But whatever it is, we'll take it right now, and we need it. But it was excellent to see that, obviously, as Tony mentioned, Eloy starting that rally in the ninth. I mean, usually we go through and kind of break down the game. We'll get to some of the other performances here. But with this ninth inning rally, I think we'd not be doing it justice if we didn't go and start from the top with it, guys. Because obviously we knew the situation coming in, down 3-0 in that ninth inning. That Eloy home run that we had just talked about. AJ Pollock grounds out, but then, hey, Andrew Vaughn had a little bit of a tough spot earlier in the game where he had an opportunity with guys on base. Very, very nice to see him chip in and get that single back up the middle. And then Romy, man, coming off a big game last night, too. He ties it with a single of his own. And, boys, our community picked the click for the entire weekend. Elvis Andrus coming through. The double down the left field line, scored 2, making it a 5-3 ball game. I need to break out the Elvis moves, boys.
One other thing.
There it is.
Yeah, look at that. There we go. One other thing that we need to talk about with Elvis here, and I don't know how many people really caught this. When Engel was rounding third, when he was approaching the plate, Andrus was positioned perfectly where he was directly in Engel's line of vision, telling him where to fucking slide, telling him to slide wide. And if you go back and if you watch that replay, because of the angle of that slide, they weren't able to get the tag on him. This is directly what I talked about the other day in the piece that I wrote about Elvis Andrus always being in the right spot, doing the right things. That's a veteran move. A guy knowing I need to be directly in your line of sight, telling you, slide here.
Are you telling me that we finally have a middle infielder wearing the number 1 that actually has a high baseball IQ, Steve?
It is #confirmed.
I would tend to agree with that. I would tend to agree with that. The fact that he was our consensus pick to click, which we don't do on this show very often, says a lot at this point. And, him in the leadoff role, not your prototypical leadoff guy. I would say if you came into this season saying that Elvis Andrus is going to be your shortstop during the stretch run and be hitting leadoff for the Chicago White Sox, no one would say, yeah, that's a possibility. What he's done to step in for TA cannot be understated at this point.
I think
it cannot be understated.
We may be riding a bit of overperformance offensively. I think the defense, the smarts, and the awareness, that's always going to be there because
even Kenwo, who doesn't love fundamentals, was giving credit to Elvis Andrus for fundamentals, and Steve knows how important that is.
Right,
that's
but
an endorsement.
Just in terms of if you go and look at the overall numbers and what Elvis Andrus was earlier this year, right? We may be riding a little bit of overperformance. However, I will also go and attribute that to him having a little bit of adrenaline drilled into him by being, and he said it himself, being on a team in which their games are going to matter down the stretch, right? So that, instead of playing for those bum-ass Oakland A's out there who are the seller of the American League right now, that on top of the return to that team that ended up cutting him. I think all of that extra juice is the stuff that's not going to show up in the stat sheet. So Fangraphs is going to wonder, how the fuck could he even do this? Is this even possible? Well, guess what? That's where the human emotion side of it comes through. And the White Sox need every ounce of that emotion and fire and passion and grit and TW that they can get right now. Elvis Andrus is bringing it.